Well, hello there. I heard you guys want to know about the new junk/loot filter thingy that we got in the first Descendant Season 1 update. My chat keeps asking me about how to use this thing because it's very confusing, so that is what we are going to cover in this video. We have been using it now for the past like 2 or 3 days, finally figured it out. Kinda sorta, it's not the greatest, but it is a little upgrade over what it used to be. I hope that they do keep updating it, and eventually we actually have like a proper junk/loot filter in the game. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into how it all works. So firstly, let's cover the one for the weapons, as weapons, reactors, and components have different separate loot filter settings. Well, junk filter settings. So you go down below here, filter all as junk. You want to click that, and we see for the weapons. Now the weapon one is pretty simple. Set it on weapon tier, rare and lower. So this is going to auto mark everything to get junk that is purple and lower. So you'll never accidentally select your ultimate tier weapons, which I have done before in the past. Thunder Cage, yep. So that is a story for another day, but that's why you set this to rare and lower. You set it to level 100, and then over here, weapons with enhanced unique ability, you want to exclude those just as like a double assurity that you'll never delete a ultimate weapon, because if they have an enhanced unique ability, so that means you've like leveled them up once or twice, then it will exclude them as well. You hit apply. And now we can go ahead, designate all as junk to see if this works. And I have one of my ultimate weapons unfavorited just so you guys can see that it will work. So designate all as junk, we hold it in, and there you can see everything is junked except for that ultimate, even though it is not favorited. But with the filter set to this, it should never select the ultimates when you go ahead and actually select all as junk. The only way that it could take an ultimate is if it is unfavorited and you individually select junk on it. So you press J on it or whatever it may be on console. That's the only way that it's going to do it, unless you are using the filter. If you're using the filter like that, designate all, it will not junk your ultimate weapons. So let's go ahead and junk those. Now we'll head over to the external components. We'll go filter the junk again, and there we have all the components. Now for these, I'm actually going to select ultimate tier and lower because I don't want all the ultimate ones either. Level 100 and external components with set effects, I have included that. You can exclude that if you are still like newer into hard mode, going through like all the different sets from the bosses, but I'm looking for very specific roles on my components, so I include all of these. And then we go down to the filter settings, the used and unused. This is basically just on and off, like activate or deactivate. With it on use, it's going to use the settings underneath, so when you go ahead and mark all as junk, it's going to go firstly through this like your criteria at the top, and then it's going to go through the criteria down below. Whereas you have this on unused, it's only going to follow this up top. So if it is a ultimate tier or lower, it will automatically mark them for junk. So you can drop that down to rare if you just want to go through your ultimates one by one by yourself. But I just put mine ultimate and lower. And then we are going to activate this. And then if we have a look down below how this actually works. So this works at, this is going to mark all junk that is purple or lower. It's not going to mark the ultimate version like below over that. I have shield recovery in combat. The ultimate one selected, so this will mark the ultimate level of this as junk. But the main problem with this filter at the moment is that it won't actually check both roles on the component or reactor, whatever it may be. If there's a single role over there that you want kept, it's not going to check the other role. It's going to just see the one role, and automatically it won't mark it as junk. So for example, MP recovery in combat, I'm trying to look for gold rolls on these because I want gold rolls on that. But shield recovery, I don't want at all. So if I do get a MP recovery with a gold roll and with a shield recovery on it as well, it's going to save that piece. It won't actually mark it as junk because I have MP recovery set to not dismantle at gold or higher. Now, if you are okay with actually getting this in a purple roll, then you can lower it even further. Then it's only going to auto mark blue and lower, because it'll always be at the level or lower. It won't be higher. So if you want to look for purple or gold, then set it on blue. If you want to only look for gold rolls, then you want to set it to purple. I'm at the point where I'm just kind of going for gold rolls right now, especially on my components, whereas we get to reactors, there I actually care about some purple rolls. So this is how I have mine set up just as overall. So I'll go through and show you guys my filter. If you want to copy this, maybe lower these all down to blue, so you could at least get these in purple rolls, but I pretty much have all of these in purple roll already. So I only just want to go after the ultimate roll, but nonetheless, I will share with you guys my filter. MP recovery, we want that. Shield recovery, we don't want that. Max MP, yes, yes, yes. Down but not out, we do not care for that one. MP recovery out of combat is good, so we have that on rare. Shield recovery and max shield, I don't care for those, so we're going to put those on ultimate so we don't see those. Consumable, yes. Character XP, then we have all the reses, and then we have gold drop rate and firearm drop rate. This is your farming sets. HP recovery, shield recovery, we don't care for those, so those go to ultimate. And then MP recovery, defense, equipment drop, Item acquisition, max MP, we want to see all of those. That's why we have those on purple, so we could see them on gold. And then eSIV display and eSIV search, both of those on gold because we don't care for those at all. So that is how we have our filter set up. Now you might actually drop this down to blue like I said, because then if it is on blue, you will see purple still. So just keep that in mind, you might want to drop those. This is how I have my filter for the external components. And then moving over to reactors, yet again, ultimate and lowest, it's going to be all types of reactors, level 100. Enhanced reactor, you want to exclude enhanced reactors, that's when you have them leveled up, because you might have like a purple reactor. So you want to exclude this just in case you accidentally mark one that you have leveled up and you are using for some random build. And then coming down to the filter settings, now this is for reactors, obviously again, on and off, we have ours set to on. And the same thing applies if you all the things that are ultimate, it's going to mark these as junk. So whatever you have down below is going to mark the same tier and lowest. Now these settings are actually more useful when you are trying to farm a specific reactor. As an example in the background, I was actually going after a Glay reactor on mine. So for my Glay, I want skill cooldown purple or higher. That's why I have it set to blue. And then I want Colossus damage as well, purple or higher. So yet again, I have it set to blue. And then everything else that I don't want to see, I have set to ultimate. So you just have to always remember that this, what you mark here, is what it's going to mark as junk. So that's why it's important to remember whatever you are trying to farm, you want to actually lower that. Either if you're going after gold rolls, then you want to set it to purple, because then it's going to mark everything purple and below. So you'll only see gold of that one. But in my case, for the reactor, I would actually be okay with some purple rolls. So I'm going to drop that down to blue. And that way we can only see the roll when it is purple or higher. But like I said before, it's not going to filter both of the rolls through, you know, like the filter over here. So you could get a purple cooldown with a gold duration up, or like a blue duration up even. It could be any other stat, like as long as it's got purple cooldown or higher, and any other stat, doesn't matter what level, what kind of stat, it's not going to mark that one as junk. So let me go ahead and just demonstrate to you guys. We did farm quite a few before as demonstration. So with our filter, we only want to see Colossus damage and skill cooldown. So we're going to go ahead and then mark everything as junk. And we're just going to delete it because I believe in this system. And let's see what we're left with. We are now left with these four over here. And as I said before, we only marked for Colossus and for cooldown. This one over here is a great example. As we can see, we have gold Colossus, we have blue fusion. So we don't care for that blue fusion at all. So that one is getting junk. Moving on, we have another gold Colossus, but electric. So again, we don't care for that at all. Skill cooldown, we have gold again, but no Colossus this time. So as you can see, the filter is not the greatest, but it definitely made it a lot faster for me because I didn't even have to look at those other ones that we deleted. So go ahead, delete these. Skill cooldown fusion, again, nothing useful. Colossus tech, not what I want. And then this one again, Colossus and fusion. So none of those are what I'm looking for, but it definitely made sorting through everything a lot easier. And then if you want to go look at the purple ones, you can, but I don't even look at purple ones anymore. So I just insta delete them, even though they could potentially have, you know, the perfect stats on them according to the filter. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those, but it does help you overall because obviously see it was a lot faster for me to go through and like filter through all of that stuff. And then just quickly go back to reactors. When you aren't farming in specific for any reactor, you could just turn this to unused. So it's not going to put it on at all. Basically it's on and off. So if you're not farming specific reactor, turn it off and you can, then it's just going to select all gold reactors and below. But if you are going to just be doing general gameplay and not farming a reactor at like a specific reactor spot, you could go ahead and activate this and you can actually change the custom setting and it's going to take like a whole roll of all of these. So just drop this down to purple. So now it's going to dismantle, or it's going to mark everything as junk, even purple reactors, gold reactors, all of that, as long as they have rare tier and low. So if they do have a gold roll on them, it's not going to select them. So that way you can just, you know, skim through them real quickly, delete everything, and then you'll only be left with the ones with the gold rolls, just to make farming and like gameplay a little bit faster when you go through and manage your inventory, as you're just going to be saving gold rolls anyway, unless you are specific farming for something. Then you can go ahead and like set all the different settings on what it is you may be trying to farm. But that's really all there is to the filter. It's not that complicated. And it's not that great either. I'm hoping later on they will actually update this to where we can select it to like force look at both of the roles. So only give us items with both of the roles of what we want. That would be much nicer and much quicker and easier to go through all our loot. But for now, it's better than what we previously had. So go out there, set it up real quick. It doesn't take too long. If you're not going to set up the component one or the reactor one, at least make sure you set up the weapon one so you never delete any ultimate weapons by accident like I do. Learn from me. Don't do it. You will thank me later. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope it helped you guys out. If it did, please drop a like and a sub to the channel. Helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the streams as well as the next video. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. hear the